Launched onto the market in 2019, the Lagoon 46 has been hugely popular. With over 600 hulls built now in 5 years of production, the Lagoon 46 continues to see demand the world over. Today we're on board a 2024 Lagoon 46, one of the very latest and greatest to come out of the French shipyard. So we're going to take a look through the latest features and the innovation, layout and finish on this stunning model. My name is Joe Fox from the team at TMG Yachts. We do hope you enjoy this walkthrough. Starting in our current position on the bow of the vessel, we have an amazing working deck here. Lagoon are renowned for the volume in their hulls, and we see this looking down on the deck here on each hull. So we've got good side decks down the side, a comfortable forward seating area here with plenty of storage underneath. Now underneath the central locker we have two large water tanks, so that's 600 litres in total. There's storage just on starboard side and a location for a generator on port side. Underneath this moulding here is the anchor windlass, which doubles up as a little table for those seated on the bow. You'll just notice just after that we do have the forward sliding window in the saloon. This gives great ventilation and provides easy access for drinks, food, canapes, whatever, when people are seated here on the bow. Overall, this working deck is large, it is safe, it is well protected, and as I'm walking around the vessel, I've got good handrail here all the way around the coach roof. In the front of each bow, we have a watertight compartment, and as with all the Lagoons, we have ample storage in here. Now this can be doubled up as a crew cabin or kids cabin, but typically for our Australian market, it's left just as storage for those wanting to get the most out of their onboard space. On the very front of the crossbeam, we have the Code Zero rig and pole. Now this is an option for flying either a Code Zero or an asymmetric kite to really expand your sail wardrobe to give you performance in a range of conditions. As we make our way down the side decks, you'll notice they are plenty wide enough. Handrail here, as I mentioned before, and flush mounted deck hatches for ease of movement around the vessel. We'll head now to the Flybridge. Now the Flybridge is one of the most popular design features that Lagoon has ever introduced. More than 50% of Lagoons produced worldwide feature this layout. Let's take a look. Now the Flybridge is the place to be, and it creates a completely separate zone in addition to what we have in the main saloon, the aft cockpit and the forward cockpit. So you're getting a whole extra heap of real estate up here. The Flybridge first introduced on the 440 and the 500 Lagoons in the early 2000s, and it's really been so successful since then. We've seen it on the Lagoon 450, now the Lagoon 46, and all the larger Lagoons feature the Flybridge as well. So it really gives you an extra area for socializing, entertaining. When you're sailing along, you've got the whole family up here. So for those that like it, it's a real winner. At the aft of the Flybridge, we have sun lounging there with an articulated backrest. The main helm seat here is standard, and also the sun lounger here comes up to form a seat, so you could have 5 or 6 people seated forward, all being involved with the sailing and enjoying their champagne sailing experience. Focusing on the helm station, it is just port of center, which is convenient because I can see just down the port hand side of the mast. Here I have everything I need for managing and running the boat. I've got autopilot remote control, my MFDs, some multifunction displays for all the wind and data, depth, sea temperature, like that. In addition to that, I've got a 16-inch Raymarine screen here. Now this has all my navigation data, radar, charts, everything I need for running the vessel. Just on starboard side here, I have the engine controls and throttles. These can be upgraded to electronic throttles for finger light control of the vessel. Anchor winch up here with a chain counter integrated, as well as all the winches that I need for sailing the boat. The vessel, as standard, comes with one electric winch as your working winch. Now this is for the main sheet or for raising and lowering the mainsail. On this vessel we're on today, it's got the full upgrade package for the winches. So we've got 3 electric winches here, and just behind me, if you look here, we've got a flat winder. So this is the flat winder control for the Traveller. So trimming the sail can be done at the push of a button from the helm seat. Super easy. Furling line for the jib is just here, again run to the Flybridge, so it can be fully controlled from up here for all your sailing maneuvers. Visibility to the sail is very good as well. Standing at the helm station here, I can see all the way up the rig to the top. I can see the wind vanes on the top and the forward leading edge of the sail. Visibility overall is very good here as well, because looking forward, I've got full visibility on a sports top model. We're a little bit lower down, so we do get a bit more restricted visibility forwards. For rear view, I can walk to one side here and see the transom, and I can walk to the other side as well. And for those that want it, we can do an upgrade into the Raymarine system. We can install Raymarine cameras. So these are like a reversing camera in a car to give you extra visibility of your crew member as you're backing into a dock and they're securing the lines. For those wanting more protection from the elements, it is possible to fully enclose this flybridge, creating a fully sealed area, so completely wind-free, completely rain-free, fully in control of the vessel. The flybridge is such a winner from Lagoon, and you can really see why people love it so much. It's important that we talk about sail configuration, so let's head up to the mast now. The genoa on this vessel is a self-tacking sail. You can see the rail just below my feet here on the deck. Now, this is possible because the mast is quite far aft. It's pretty much in the center of the boat. Now, this centralizes the weight of the mast, reducing the hobby horse motion, and also has quite a few other benefits, which we'll talk about shortly. But the main one is that it gives us a self-tacking head sail, so super easy, single-handed sailing for tacking and jibing. I mentioned earlier that we can have a code 0 or asymmetric spinnaker on the front of the vessel, so you can have three sails or 4 sails, including an asymmetric kite, available for use on the Lagoon 46. Turning our attention to the mast. The mast, as I said, is positioned in the center of the saloon, so centralized weight and a square top mainsail. So the boom, because the mast is a bit further aft, the boom is a bit shorter. So when you're lowering the sail and reefing the sail, there is a little bit less fabric coming down, but to make up for that, we've put quite a tall rig on this boat, and we also have a square top mainsail to maximize that sail surface area. Given the flybridge layout of the Lagoon 46, the bimini top is a working deck for access for stowing and unpacking the sail when you get into marina. A new option which was released this year and is going to be very popular is the furling boom system for the Lagoon 46. This will also come on the Lagoon 43 and the Lagoon 51, but this is a furling boom, external furling boom, available on this model to make furling, hoisting and reefing the sail super easy, all done fully from the helm station. You have no sail bag, of course, with this, so it really changes the game in terms of your sailing operations and could be very good for those who are sailing short-handed. We will put a link in the comments below with more info on this option. We'll make our way down into the cockpit and the saloon area now, but before we do, I'm just going to point out the side access here. So the access on port on this model is an internal access, I call it. So I can get to the flybridge from the cockpit without having to go out to the rail of the boat. Now that's really important if you're sailing offshore or if you're sailing again short-handed. Having your crew use this side only for access is a lot safer. Of course, the other side we have access as well, but it does put you out to the rail, which in calmer conditions isn't an issue, but it's really nice to have this internal access here. Moving down into the cockpit area, we have a lot of everything down here. So on port side, we have a dining table. Now the standard dining table is about this size and made of gel coat, but for those wanting a better dining experience or got a bigger family with more friends on board, you can purchase this table, which doubles the size of the table, giving you seating for up to about 8 in this area. The bench seat here slides aft to give you comfortable seating, and a couple of nice director's chairs down there would complete the look. This is a wonderful feature, and to be honest, I think dining on a Lagoon like this, 90% of it is done in the cockpit. It's so well protected here. We're out of the sun, we're out of the wind. You can enclose this area as well, as per the upstairs area, with clears, which creates an extension of the saloon. So it's not an outside cockpit. You've really got to consider this part of your living area when you're looking at one of these vessels. Aft of the cockpit, we have a lovely forward-facing bench seat here. Very comfortable, a great position to be. Now, I like this because I can see out the side, I can see out the back, but importantly, I can see through the saloon windows at the front. So I really don't feel like I'm inside a vessel here. I feel like I'm on a vessel with great visibility and very comfortable seating. On starboard side of the cockpit just here, we have a lovely sunbed, great relaxing area and plenty of storage underneath. Forward off this lounge, we have the wet bar here, external wet bar for the cockpit. There is a fridge in here, 80-litre fridge, which you can select, and you can also do an ice maker in here. It's not installed on this vessel, but an ice maker is a great spot in there. And then on here, you can do a sink as well. So this can be a real cockpit servery, if you like. or a bar, depending on your preference. In the center of the cockpit here, and in the best location possible, we have good access to a bin, and there is also a wet storage locker here. So my favorite use for this is as an esky, as we call it in Australia, or an ice bucket. It's got a drain in the bottom, fill it full of ice, and it's a great extension of the refrigeration that you have on board. Over here, we have a nice large gas locker, so you can get a good size gas bottle in there. I like this position. It's obviously got a drain in the bottom, but I like this position because it's very close to the galley. We're not relying on long lines of gas piping. We're really minimizing that risk of a gas leak at any time. Before we head inside, we're just going to take a look at the very stern of the vessel and all that that has to offer, because it really comes into its own here. At the stern of each hull, we have very good access into the engine rooms. I like these because the hinges are to the sea, so as I open the hatch, I've got very good protection. If I'm sailing offshore, doing my engine checks once a day, which I would be on an offshore passage, I've got good, safe, clear access here, and the engine room is quite large. Again, Lagoons have quite a lot of volume at the back of their hulls. This helps in a following sea, and generally with accommodation volume on board, but this really pays off in the engine rooms where you've got really good access for servicing. So a top thumbs up from me regarding the engine rooms. On this particular model, we've installed a barbecue table here. Now we've got a gas bayonet just underneath, plumbed into the main gas bottle, but this is the best place to do any form of barbecuing, and Australians love their barbecues, so portable barbecue goes on here, great position. This also doubles up as a bit of a bait board, and we've seen people install similar things to this the world over as well. So this is a bit of an idea that is catching on. Just over here on the outboard side of the starboard sugar scoop, we have a couple of hatches here. This is for your deck wash pump, so you can wash the deck with either salt or fresh water, or you can plumb into the mains water when you're in a marina and have mains water coming straight out your tap. Both great options to have. There are two options for dinghy storage on board this model. The standard davit system is a stainless steel rack which lifts the dinghy up alongside these vertical poles here. The tender lift that we see here is an optional extra, but it's a great one at that, allowing easy storage of the dinghy. And if you lower it down, it becomes an amazing swim platform. You could sit on it, dangle your feet in the water, put it 6 inches underneath, and it's the perfect place to hang out on a hot day. For those who are into their diving, this is a great option to have for helping divers with tanks and gear get in and out of the water. In terms of the actual dinghy storage, this is expanded at the moment. There's a leaf on either end, so this is in kind of dinghy off mode, the relaxing mode. If you're going to put your dinghy on board, then these two leaves fold over like so and expose the chocks for the dinghy. Now this goes down about 800 mil under the water. You float your dinghy on. Sitting in the dinghy, you hold onto this rail here, and often a Bluetooth remote will just lift you up with all your groceries on board, and you offload them directly into the cockpit. When you are traveling long distance or with the dinghy stowed, there are pins to secure the tender lift here, taking the weight off the hydraulics. A good safety feature. The life raft is also stored just inside the aft beam here that can be easily deployed in the event of an emergency. On the port aft transom, we have the boarding ladder and the stern shower for easy access and fresh water after your swim. Having looked at the external sides of the vessel, let's head inside now into the saloon, and this is where the Lagoon 46 really comes into its own in terms of volume, space and natural light. At the front end of the saloon, the vertical windows which we see on all Lagoon models allow headroom all the way forward, so it really increases the volume in here exponentially. The vertical windows are also great for shading, so we're in the middle of the day right now here in Sydney and we don't have any direct sunlight coming through the windows, so this helps to keep the temperature in here really low. We don't get that car windscreen effect beating into the saloon. Ventilation as well is also very good with this full drop-down window here that I mentioned earlier, as well as a full door and window at the back of the saloon. So for a cross draft, if you don't want to run the air conditioning, the saloon is very comfortable. In terms of seating and dining, the starboard forward corner of the saloon has a lovely lounge here. This particular vessel has been upgraded with the comfort package upholstery. This isn't the standard. The standard's a little bit thinner. It's a simpler foam upholstery, still just as beautiful, but this gives you extra comfort and it gives you extra quality in the fabric as well as the piping on the corners, really helping to lift the internal feel of the vessel. The port forward corner of the saloon features the internal navigation station. Now this can have an optional 12-inch plotter here that we see here. Otherwise, it's a great desk and a place to relax and monitor the boat's progress when you are underway. This particular vessel has the Elegance line fitted. Now this is an interior lift package which increases the interior fit out and the quality of that. You'll see leatherette stitching here around the helm pod, leatherette covering on some of the surfaces, as well as upgraded fittings and finish further into the cabins. Up here at the helm station we've got good visibility forward and the VHF and all the navigation gear that you could need. All the monitoring, the tanks, the electricity, the power is done through the Scheibe unit here, and the generator controls are also here with shore power switching. All the relays can be controlled through that. So this is kind of the second nerve center of the vessel, if you like. Making our way into the galley just after the helm station. This is probably one of my favorite galleys. The galley is a really great layout, and I like it because when you're sailing offshore it feels very secure. Just under the bench top here we have the gas oven, there's a 3-burner gas hob here and a convection microwave just there. There is plenty of storage in the galley with overhead storage both on port and starboard, as well as under bench storage. This model also features ample underfloor storage. So there are 3 of these large lockers which are great for your dry goods, your pastas, your tinned goods when you are on your cruising adventures. From 2024, all Lagoon catamarans come equipped with a standard water filtration system. This is a 2-part system which first shines UV light through the water to sterilize it, and then uses a high micron filter to purify it. So that takes normal water out of your tanks and runs it through the Saloon tap in a drinking condition. This is all aimed at reducing plastic waste and reducing our reliance on plastic bottles when we're cruising. There are a number of upgrade options available in regards to the galley. Here we have a salt water tap. So this is an additional extra. If you want to have salt water in your sink, this helps to save fresh water when you are in remote locations by rinsing your dishes with fresh. You can upgrade the refrigeration system as well. So this boat has the full refrigeration package. It's got a large freezer here and a large double drawer fridge on the other side of the saloon. We can also put a 6-set dishwasher in here for those that don't like cleaning up after they've eaten. In terms of storage, again, as I said on this model, it is very good. In the saloon central couch here, we do have more storage, and that actually goes quite deep below the level of the sole boards here. So every little bit of space that's available has been made use of. Air conditioning units do position themselves underneath the couch on the forward bulkhead there, but there is more storage just under this couch as well. So plenty of storage to go around. So coming down into the port side of the vessel, we have 2 cabins on this side. So this is a 3-cabin version. So up the bow here, we have a comfortable guest cabin with its own private toilet. Now this is a very comfortable toilet compartment, just as large as the one at the back of the vessel. The cabins on the Lagoon 46 are very comfortable, plenty of natural light. Each cabin has at least 1, if not 2 deck hatches. Large hull windows with block-out blinds as well. On this model, they're fitted with air conditioning. And of course, storage is plenty of storage for all the guests. And for those that are cruising on board a vessel, you might kit this out as a bit of a storeroom. Plenty of storage for that as well. Making our way to the rear cabin, I call this the VIP cabin as opposed to the guest cabin, which is forward. Reason being, it is a little bit larger. The bed is a little bit wider at the head end. You know, the southern end of the bed is completely the same, but you just have a little bit more area here than you do at the front, and that's just because we have a little bit more volume in the back of the boat because the hulls are slightly larger at the back. Generally, all the cabins on board this model are very comfortable with plenty of natural light, good airflow and quality of finish. The VIP cabin in the aft of the boat is as good but a little bit better than the forward cabin. So there is storage in here and ample storage here. So we're getting the same of what we got in the bow, we're just getting more of it. So heading into the bathrooms on both of these cabins on port side, very comfortable, lovely mirror here, good Corian worktops. It's a very nice fit and finish and a good position of the toilet. It doesn't feel like it's in the way at all. Air conditioning does plumb into these bathrooms as well. Heading into the shower, you'll see headroom here is very good. I'd say about 6'7" of headroom. And again, plenty of ventilation, natural light with privacy screens here as well. So it has everything you need. Very comfortable bathroom for a 46-footer. As we head to the master cabin, it's important to note, although this is a 3-cabin vessel with in-cabin sleeping for up to 6, we can do an additional berth here. So the saloon table drops down and there is an infill cushion to create a large berth here. So that's sleeping for up to 8 on board with 2 people here in the saloon. This is a great option if you are traveling, say 2 people on a long passage offshore. This can become a bit of a nighttime berth. Now this is good because communication is super easy between the person who's running the boat at night on watch and the person who's getting some rest. So easy to call for help if you need it. But let's head down into the master cabin now. The master cabin on the 46 is an absolute work of art, super comfortable for the owner of the boat with heaps of space. At the rear end of the cabin, we have the same size berth that we have on the other side. So in terms of that, it's symmetrical, but that is where it stops. Moving forward, we've got a very, very open plan cabin. We've got 2 large hull windows that you can see in the hull, plenty of storage and a lovely couch. So this can be really a reclusive area for those that want to get away from guests or get away from family, or just hang out down here in the hulls where it's often a little bit cooler. Storage in the master cabin is excellent with plenty of hanging room just here, storage under the bed, storage drawers just here with soft close latches, and plenty of storage nooks absolutely everywhere. This piece here is actually the sliding door, so we can close the cabin like so, and it becomes very quiet and very private in here straight away. Just behind the door is the access to all our electronics, so the inverter, the breaker boxes, the anchor windlass breaker, and all the systems for running the boat, trip switches, are located pretty much in one place, which makes fault finding very easy when you are sailing and doing your maneuvers. So moving further forward on the inboard side, just forward of the main access door, we have another electrical box. Again, good access, all your 12-volt breakers and fuses in here. Moving further forward of that, again, plenty of storage in here. Bedding, Manchester pillows, what have you. A great spot for it all in there. On the outboard side, just over my left shoulder here, this is the workstation. Now this, if you're working on board or working remotely from your vessel, this is where you set it up. We've set this up with a television here for good viewing from the bed. It's quite a large one, it's quite high. But if you were to do this as a workstation, it might be a little bit lower, and you can set it up exactly as you want it. A comfortable place to get your work done. Moving further forward, in the master cabin, we have a separate toilet compartment just here. So this is very nice because it allows full privacy whilst another person is in the bathroom. So the Lagoon 46 was one of the first vessels to do this in this size category. We've seen a lot of people follow suit, and we're even now doing it on the smaller models as well. Moving into the bathroom, plenty of natural light. Again, air conditioning in here, Korean bench tops, full beam shower here. So plenty of room in the shower. It certainly doesn't feel like a small pokey boat shower, as they can sometimes feel like. Natural light here with ventilation, privacy screens as well, and everything you could need. On the outboard side of the cabin, we have a bit of a vanity unit here with storage underneath for all your toiletry items. And then on the inboard side, Korean worktop, lovely sink, mirror with good storage behind, as well as storage underneath. I keep saying storage, but it is absolutely everywhere. This unit here, however, is not storage. Inside here, we have a washer dryer. This can wash up to 10 kilograms and dry up to 6 kilograms. A great addition to this already well-equipped Lagoon 46. Now, as you move around the Lagoon 46, you can really tell that a lot of experience and thought has gone into the design in terms of moving around the vessel, the build quality, the fit and the finish. The sailing characteristics are excellent on this vessel. I've spent a lot of time sailing the Lagoon 46 offshore. It really does go very well. It's easy to see why this model has been so popular the world over, and we expect the popularity to continue in the years to come. My name was Joe Fox from the team at TMG Yachts. We do hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to be updated with more Lagoon related content, do like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to receive updates. Thanks for watching.